Alright. Hi everyone, this is Will from Productions², and we're going to do just a really quick stream, KSP stream. Excuse me. So, I had to watch a lot of videos and look through a lot of posts to figure this out, but I think I got it figured out. So, the issue was that there's a couple issues. First of all, the lander can, the landing thing on the sky crane had to have a probe core on it or have Kerbals in it to be the control point for the bottom part of the vessel when you release it. That if you don't have that, then what happens is that the rovers become the control whatevers for it because they have the remote guidance units on it, and so when you drop them off, they will be controlled in tandem instead of individually, because they're still considered to be the spacecraft, even though they're separated. Yeah, jeez. Then the other part was there's a bug with docking ports, and I don't know why they haven't fixed it yet, but it's been around for quite a while. When you have a docking port with something attached to it and it's staged off, a bug happens where you can't disconnect it until you go into your save file and modify it to change the values for the ports in some way. And you have to use a program to do that. Well, you can do it in a text pad editor, but it's a lot easier to use this program that I found to do it. It's called... where are you? It's called KML. Stands for Kerbal Markup Lister, and that allows you to go in and modify a bunch of stuff in the save file. So I'm gonna go ahead and load up this. I actually created a whole new God. I actually deleted the previous rovers that were on the moon because they were screwed up, and I built a new sky crane. Oh, seriously? I didn't save it once I got them on the moon. Damn it. Okay. I was hoping that I had. So this is going to be... Or wait. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is going to be interesting because what happens is that as I'm coming down, I'll lose connection with the Kerbal network. However, I found a way to well, you know what? Let's do this. Instead of doing that, let's make this a lot easier. So you only got a little bit of time. So I'm going to burn retrograde. And I'm just going to bring this in. I actually managed to do a precision landing. Well, it's not precision, but for me it's precision. I landed, where was it? I think I landed over in here somewhere on my last attempt. After I realized that the thing was in control, it started going back up because I had it at full throttle. Once it, reversed the orbit direction, and then it, I got control again, so I dropped the thrust down to a third at about 30,000 feet. And what happened is that, I think it depends, I think it's just with this vessel because of the weight and things like that. But it managed to, once it got down to 3 meters above the ground, it actually canceled out the momentum, and I was able to drop off the rovers, and it took off again. So that was kind of interesting. But what I'm going to do is we're going to bring this in a bit so that we don't have to deal with that. I've actually managed to figure out how to land these when you're doing these kind of steep descents. You have to burn off some of the horizontal speed manually, which is annoying, as you can imagine. So what I had to do though was I had to I got this thing on the ground, the rover section, and then what I had to do was use the cheat menu to use I don't know what they call it, I forget now. It's called the object thrower, and I threw an object at the probe core, and it blew it up and broke it apart. I lost one of the docking ports on the one of the rovers. Nothing to do about that. Let's get that rotation rid of. Come on, stop rotating now. And then it goes back the other way. It's weird. I mean, it stops it and then it twirls it again. It's like, what the hell? Alright, there we go. Well, I guess it doesn't automatically on its own or something. There we go. Okay, so, we're still way the hell up, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to burn this off. Burn off the speed until we're down to about 200 meters a second. I also changed this design a bit. I took off all the other stuff that we don't need because we don't need it. I'll turn RCS because it's going to roll around a bit. I also reattached the rovers. So one other thing that I think was going on was that the rovers were not attached correctly. When you attach something on this kind of way, where you're using one of these attachment points, radial attachment points, you have to use the Alt key. So you select it, then you use the Alt key, and then you have to use the WASD keys to rotate and align the object to where you want to attach it to. And that turns off basically the surface attachment, so it doesn't... what happens if you do surface attachment on these? It tends to sometimes put it inside of an object or to not set up the link correctly. But if you use the Alt after you click it and use Alt while you're trying to move it around and whatnot, it actually will fix that. Alright, so I'm going to turn off... I'm actually going to stop at 300, and we're going to turn off the engines, and then I'm going to turn to stability assist, and we're going to go... We're going to try and stay along basically the same axis as the prograde marker, but we're going to go shift down and across, and this way we can burn off some of that horizontal speed. It needs to be at least half of what your vertical speed is. I won't do exactly half, but we'll drop it down a bit. Alright, now I'm going to switch back to prograde, and we're just going to burn the rest of the way down. And now we should have ourselves set up on a relatively nice trajectory there. No, we're coming down about where I was last time. That's not too bad. Actually, I might have been over here. I was like 8-point-something kilometers away from it. It was a freaking awesome thing. Okay, so I think we also have access to the network still because we're below 30,000 and we still have a connection. Let me just jump out real quick and see. Okay, we're gonna lose it though. So, and yeah. So I'm gonna put it right about here, just in case we do lose it. That's the magic number that worked for me last time. I think eventually, as we get closer, we're going to lose it, though, because we will get... the moon will get in the way. At first, it seemed like it wasn't slowing down that much, but as you get closer down, you start, building up more of a... you start dropping it more because you're getting more vertical. But I'm fully expect to lose connection to this thing eventually. At least lose full control. Oddly, in full control, you can actually go to max or no thrust, but you can't do you can't set the throttle precisely. It can either be max or it can be nothing. Okay, we need to slow down a bit more. We're coming in way too fast. I thought we would have been fine that way, but not quite. And there we go, we lost connection. That might be... We'll see if it's too much or not. It actually might be just about right, to be honest. Because we came in a little bit too quick. We'll have to see what happens. And as long as I get kind of close, I can go ahead and drop this off. Let's get this open. We've still got plenty of distance to travel, so I think then once I drop this, I'm just going to take this thing off, take off on full throttle, and we'll just let it go up a bit on the apoapsis so it'll travel a little bit. And then I will... No, we're coming in too fast. So we're going to have to do this the hard way. Full thrust. Or, you know, full thrust or broke. No half measures on this one. It can be done, it's just it's not as precise. And you have to really... be mindful of where you're at on the on your speed and your distance to the ground. If I have to do it this way, I usually try to keep it around 15 to 10. That way I can slow down fast enough. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this burn. Let's look at where we're going on that. So it'll come up and it'll come back down over there. Let's go ahead and switch to the rover. We're probably going to have to... We're on the side of a hill, so we'll have to use the brake to slow it down. So it'll start to roll down. I definitely want to save, though. Let's go ahead and create a save game real quick. Alright, so, like right now, if I wanted to... Actually, we don't have any control right now. So let's go ahead and... I can still brake, though, I think. Or not. Oh yeah, I can. I think SAS was causing it. No, maybe not. I thought I could brake on the last one without having a connection, but I guess that's more than limited control. It's going pretty slowly though. Oh no, yeah, the brake does work, never mind. That's just that we were sliding down this way. And that's the direction I don't have any control over. Now if I let this go, it'll swing down this way naturally. I just don't want it to go too fast. Trying to get to a spot where it's just going to be stopped. Not sure where the flag's at from here. It's not showing up. So I'm trying to get a stop so we can time warp into an area where we actually have a whatever net connection. Where we have full control. First I got to get this thing down somewhere flat. I think the wheels are just slightly misaligned too, because when I was trying to dock this with this, or it's because I think the front wheels might be a little bit too low, I'm not sure. But they weren't, it was a little bit hard because they weren't exactly lining up. I do think I put these higher because I thought maybe I'd do that because it was tilted, but I went too high, I think. These are way higher than these front ones are. Well, we're going somewhere, I just don't know where. I'm only going to stream for another about 5 minutes. Yes, turn all the way. Turn all the way around and go down this way. If we can get down here to this flat section, we can stop this thing. Fully. Or maybe even right here would do. No, this hill's still too steep. So now we're going to start going backwards a bit. Actually, it looks a little bit flatter over here, so maybe that's a good thing. I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure we could stop before going over the edge of that crater. No, we don't have any control to go any particular direction. Five, three, damn. Problem is it's moving around is moving us a bit. I don't want to disconnect these until... So one thing I'm going to do is I do want to undock these. So this is what happens when you try to undock them, they don't come off because these ports are bugged. They don't register as actual docking ports, or they don't register that they actually have... something that's docked. Oh wow, that was the sky crane. Jeez. That took a little bit of time to do for it to all explode. Oh my god. Why won't you just stop? There's no RCS on it, so... Part of the issue is that they aren't... we should have actually aligned them so they were straight with each other instead of tilted like this, and then I think also the wheels. Let's also set the brakes up to 200. Well, I did save it, so if something goes wrong with this, we'll be able to... So in order to throw something, you use the middle mouse button. Alright, the rovers are now free. Oh wow, they clipped through. That one tipped over, that wasn't supposed to happen. Now we can actually time warp. Good God, where the hell are we? There we go, finally. Okay, now if we turn on SAS, I haven't actually gotten this to work yet. Suppose if you do that and hit the brakes, you're supposed to be able to turn this thing around somehow. But it's not doing anything unless you're supposed to do something else. Crap. Let me see if we can get this out. Oh, that's not going to work. Let me go to the Space Center. We should be able to target this one. What we'll do is we'll use the arm on that one to lift the other one over, hopefully. We should be able to target them individually in terms of the flying them. Come on, load. So this one's a little bit further this way. So I think that's the one we want. We'll find out. I need to rename them so it'll show up correctly in the list. Once I see if I can get this flipped over or not, I'll stop. I'll finish the stream. I'll do a little bit more streaming after work, and then I'm going to be recording all night. Alright, so I need to go forward. Why are the wheels going the wrong direction? They're going against each other. That's weird. I wonder if the wheels were linked to this or something. And the directions are reversed too. I don't know what's going on with this thing. This didn't happen last time. So I think these are the ones we need to invert. Oh, there we go. Now we got it. Weird. Alright. When you got one of these on its own, it's really hard to maneuver on the moon. When you got all of them together, though, it's a lot easier. Both of them together. All right. So let's enable magnet arm. What I want to try and do now is set this back far enough that we can try using this magnet at full strength. Pull it over and see if it'll actually... Maybe need to get a bit closer. Insufficient power. Holy crap. Somehow you're supposed to be able to do something with SAS when SAS is activated. With the brakes to like flip it or something. Oh, whatever. I can bring some Kerbals up and try and flip it with them, so I'll go and save this. Or I can try landing again and see if I get a better spot. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. Again, I'll do a little bit more streaming later.